What are the different types of follicular lymphoma?
Yeah, so the answer to that question, just like many other lymphomas, is getting more and more complicated as we learn more. Traditionally, follicular lymphoma has kind of been grouped by, staging, sort of early stage, namely, is it just one lymph node group or kind of early stage lymphomas. Most follicular lymphomas are going to be more advanced stage. And then we look at things like, what we call grading and some of the features around what molecules are associated in the tumor itself. Traditionally, we've thought about most follicular lymphoma being what we call low-grade follicular lymphoma. So there's these grading schemes that I'm not sure pathologists can always explain these well, but they kind of know it when they see it, is that you get into these what's called grade 1 or 2, and then there's what's called grade 3, and then, really now if it's, grade 1, 2, or what we call 3A, is that's what's kind of called classical follicular lymphoma, sort of what we usually think about in terms of a follicular lymphoma diagnosis. There's another group that they call grade 3B follicular lymphoma. It tends to have a more aggressive course and really should be more considered kind of an equivalent to what's called diffuse large B-cell lymphoma, which is a more aggressive but still very treatable B-cell lymphoma. As we've developed more advanced technologies and learned more about some of the particular types of lymphoma are out there, there's even more criteria. There's some pediatric types of follicular lymphoma. There's some follicular lymphomas that are associated with very specific genetic rearrangements that occur in the lymphoma cells themselves, and many of those are helpful for kind of tracking the trajectory or prognosis of patients. And I think as we go years and years from now, we're going to have many different kind of subtypes of these defined by the specific molecules like DNA and proteins that are found in the tumors themselves.
So there are a number of different types of follicular lymphoma, and in most cases we have, I think the best way to describe it is the follicular lymphoma that just involves the lymph nodes, which is the most common form. Within that, we do have different grades of follicular lymphoma. So early grade or low grade would be a kind of a slow growing disease, whereas high grade might be a more rapidly growing disease. There are other types of follicular lymphoma. Sometimes it can be called cutaneous, where it just involves the skin. We can have follicular lymphoma that involves the gastrointestinal tract. So there are different types that can involve different areas. The most common form would be a follicular lymphoma that just involves the lymph nodes themselves.